This silence, this spaciousness is far greater than any of our thought, any of our feeling, any of our worry. And this is not something we have to reach out to. This is who we are. Wonderful. So I want to cover this topic. Actually, there's nothing to cover. I've already written there. Human mind wants to make concepts out of everything because that's the way we interpret the world. So, of course, we want to make these words like awareness, consciousness, Brahman, God. And then we want to play around that I am an Atman, and then there is a Brahman, and then there is, a way to actually merge with Brahman. Awareness, consciousness, knowing. Because that's the only way mind can interpret. And then there are maps, there are stages, what not, like written in the books. But in a way, all of these things become mental concepts. And then it's like a hamster wheel for all of us. So what if today we let go of all the concepts? Even if we feel that, okay, Ramana Maharshi was enlightened and Rupert Spira is enlightened and Eckhart Tolle is enlightened, we let go of even those kind of concepts. What if there's nothing called as enlightenment? No awakening. Will you be okay with that? Not just this birth, next birth, next birth, next birth. There's absolutely no thing called enlightenment, no awakening. All that is there is just now, here. And then I want to ask you, are you not already that? Do we want to become something, or something needs to come from somewhere? People may say it's grace. Now, grace is also a concept. It's a concept. Or it could be a belief, much more. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It does work. So it could be a tool, it could be a method, or bhakti. But it can just open the door to who we already are. So just for a few moments, we let go of every such concept, including grace, of Guru, God. Here we are, naked. Absolutely naked, with no crutches of spirituality, self-inquiry. Isn't it a relief to let go of everything? 30 years of practice, notion that, My mind cannot disturb me. We let go of everything. No achievement, no accomplishments, no lack also. That maybe I'm not there, even after 30 years of practice. Just this moment, can you see who you truly are without any concepts? Let's stay silent for some time. All the methods which have been spoken about and teachings which have been shared about awakening, it's because, let's say, someone is showing you a mountain, and in between that mountain there is a temple. So that person cannot tell you that you have to just go to that mountain, because you cannot see it. You just cannot see it because it is a kind of temple is coming in between, or a church is coming in between. So that person will tell you a way to go round about the temple or the church, go to the back door, and then climb up the hill, and then go to the top of the mountain. Well, he or she could directly tell you that, hey, that's the hill, and that's the top of the hill. So probably that's the reason there are so many books and methods and maps written. But today I want you to drop everything, like gently everything. Tell me what can add a superior experience, or what can diminish what you already have right now. In many traditions, it's been said that mind itself is an illusion. mind disconnected from its own reality, trying to just defend itself, its own existence, which is an illusion. So when you defend an illusion, it's very tough. It's like somebody is lying, Let's say I have stolen money from your, locker, and you have evidence that I have stolen, and I'm just trying to fool you. Just trying to fool you, giving you some or the other excuse. No, I wasn't in your home. No, that day I was with doctor. And then you figure out I was not with doctor. Then you look at the CCTV, I was there. And I'm on this endless journey of defending myself that I have not really taken the money. And this is what is happening with all of us. First of all, it is an illusion, and then we are trying to defend and hold on to it, not letting it go. And then we want to bring one more concept called enlightenment or awakening. And then we say, hey, this letting go is awakening or enlightenment. And I have become awakened now. So who has become awakened? The mind? Because awakening is a concept. So as long as mind is feeling that he or she is awakened, it's again an illusion, isn't it? So that's why, a lot of people have said that, can we shut up the mind? It may sound a little brutal, but shut up the mind and just sit in silence. And if the mind still speaks, let it speak. But you become the silence, because you are the silence. You can't even become the silence. That's what Buddha did, right? What we call his awakening, his enlightenment. He just sat under the tree in silence and let all the blabber come in. And then the stories were made, he knew his birth, all of that. Who knows? Do we know it? Can we testify it with Buddha? But the fact is, this much we know: there was a Bodhi tree and he sat under it. And then he could see through the illusion of his mind, the illusion of the image of Siddhartha. So how is it a big deal to know yourself? Today the whole thing is, in this session, if we can just know one thing, that until and unless we will feel that we are not awakened and something is going to come from outside to struck us on the head, nothing is going to happen. And this is only called as true surrender, devotion, bhakti, whatever you want to call. Surrender and bhakti to our own self, not to a guru, not to a method, not to a self-inquiry. All of those are ways to devote yourself. I have been to so many ashrams, I've met so many gurus, teachers, and I've met all sorts of characters. These are all characters, right? We are all characters. Like Ashwin is a personality with the genetics and all the concepts, and similarly, there's someone else. So I've met such gurus who have claimed that on this date, on this time, I've got enlightened. Okay. And after that, they've come up with a method which they themselves never followed. And they're giving it to all the disciples to follow. Now, this could be a great tool. There's nothing wrong. A great tool. But one size fit all never happens. It's a unique unfolding. So while we can try everything, until unless that shift doesn't happen, doesn't happen. And the more people will get stuck to a method or a person or anything for that matter, from this expansion they will be again contracted, right? So this is just a point of view. I'm not saying that it is true. It is a point of view. And one more thing, and then we can have a small inquiry. From the absolute perspective, right now, there are not 6 or 7 people, seemingly. You can check it for yourself. Are we not interacting with our own self right now? Let go of all the concepts. You look at your direct experience right now. It's like 5 or 6 of us. I don't know how many of us are there. I think it's like these characters have brought in, by someone who has designed the script, who has written the script, who has chosen the actors, and even the characters are part of the same energetic field. Someone sitting in Italy, someone sitting in UK, someone sitting in Pune, someone in Bangalore. Check for yourself. Do you feel that you have your own choice to be on this call? So here is what I want to propose before we get into the self-inquiry. If we can genuinely, without any filter, without any concepts, look into our own eyes, not in a way that we have to stand in front of the mirrors, but genuinely see what is the back side of our eyes. What's there which is powering this character called Nalini, Satu, Madhuri, Mukesh, Gaurav, Ashwin, Kalika, without any concept, without any label, without any identity. Genuinely, what's powering? What's bringing my next thought? Who is bringing that next thought? And we will realize it is not separate. It is the same thing. Let's do a short inquiry in silence today. There's no need to close our eyes. No method. Even we drop the word inquiry. your body, your brain, anything gross. And maybe more subtler, your mind, your energy. All of this is a beautiful instrument. Can you see, can you detach yourself from the instrument and go to the source which is powering it? Can you be the source right here, right now? In fact, can you be is also a concession. You are the source. Be the source. In the instrument called body, mind, there's all these concepts of spirituality, enlightenment. Let them be there. In silence, be the source. If you get hypnotized by a gravitational pull, that from source you become the mind. That's the movement. Nothing wrong. But mind is an illusion. It's a temporary formation. Even when your mind, can you remember you are the source? Will source ever want to get enlightened or awakened? It's the mind which wants to get enlightened. Mind feels suffocated. It's like a jail. It's like series of lies which we are trying to tell, trying to hide the illusion and trying to prove our illusion. He said that to me, she said that to me. I mean, who is this me? Who is this me? An illusion. So we are trying to defend. And when we get suffocated with this defense, we want to chase enlightenment. Can God become God? So try this out. I don't know. Could work, may not work, because nothing is in our hands. Can you give up all the concepts of an awakening, enlightenment, awareness, Brahman, and in silence just be who you are, the source? Even source we can let go. Grace we can let go. And this gravitational pull, when it will happen, that suddenly you are, becoming a mind, and then you're there, and then again source. Look at it as a very natural movement. Not something that when you are source, you are amazing, and when you become mind, something wrong. It's the movement of the same thing. So as I was telling, when I met so many teachers and gurus, everyone had their own version of enlightenment and awakening. It's very difficult. Someone says that if you eat non-vegetarian food, you can never get enlightened. I was reading, and that's absolutely, I don't believe in that. Okay, I'm just quoting like so many different ideas. Somebody says I was reading Tenzin Palma. She's an amazing Buddhist monk. She's 83. Okay, she has lived in a snow cave for 12 years in Lahore, which is in Himachal Pradesh, and now she lives in Naneri monastery in Dalhousie, and I'm planning to meet her. I don't know if she will give me a meeting, but mostly I'm trying. So she wrote that she was told, this is back in the 60s and 70s, by great Rinpoches. Rinpoches are like revered monks, and they said you can never get enlightened because you are in the body of a female. And she said, next year you have to become a male to get enlightened. And she said, why? So she said, no, because your woman body is so complicated, you're getting periods and all of that. And after 12 years, when she came out of the cave, all of these apprehensions went away. In fact, so what I'm trying to say is, we will get all of these sorts of weird ideas about enlightenment. Somebody would say you cannot be with a family. You have to leave everything like Buddha. All of this is mind. Just mind. Blah, blah, blah. Isn't it like complicating such a simple thing? Trying to add layers and layers and layers and layers. And then we are saying, okay, yeah, 30 years of practice, still I'm missing something. Okay. Yeah, today's session was a bit different. We didn't do self-inquiry because I really wanted to give away all the concepts and things like that, and it all happens natural. Nothing is planned. So in a way, this is not like a session where, I'm taking the session and I'm planning something. If it comes from the mind, then again it becomes like a very mental sessions. And I've taken some mental sessions also, and I've realized they're pathetic actually. Okay. Anything, any question or anything you want to share, like, please feel free. You can type, you can unmute, or nothing is there, that's also okay. Ashtavakra Gita, there is an amazing book, okay, and there's a translation by Ramana Maharshi, he has written it. It is just saying, mind is an illusion, mind is an illusion, mind is an illusion. And it is just pointing towards you are the source, you are the source, you are the source. But we will again get tricked to be a mind, even after reading it. And then what happens is this trick is what is, again keeping us in seeking game. Oh, if I meet that person, probably something will happen. This book, if I read, something will happen. If I go to Tiruvannamalai, something happen. Kailash Mansarovar, something will happen. So then it is an endless game. Anything anyone wants to share, feel free. The moment somebody is saying, I am awakened and enlightened, he's fooling himself or herself, I'm telling you. The moment someone says that I am enlightened, I am awakened, it's like his or her mind is trying to take that accomplishment. And that's again, something which is coming spontaneously. Somebody can challenge very well this notion that, okay, fine, then what do you think? Yeah, possibly I might not know the other perspective. But how can someone claim that, I am enlightened, which means you're already there, you're there as an entity. You were a seeker before. That makes sense. Now you are saying that you are God. Then why would you claim that I have become God? You were always God. Somebody says, I woke up. Yeah, makes sense. I woke up to be who I am, and it's a normal thing, no? We get up and we realize there's a dream going on inside my head, and then I'm running, and a tiger is running behind me, and all sorts of misery. You know, I've lost multi-million dollars in my dream, but when I get up, I'm on my bed, so I say, "Oh wow, it's fine. I just woke up. Great." Okay, if there's nothing anyone has,
Yeah, Ashwin.
yeah,
Yeah, good evening.
hi,
I would like basically to say something about the, that you were saying that mind is an illusion, but so
hmm.
it is so powerful.
Yeah,
It is basically not, even though we know it, but then also it is, while working, while this thing is basically always it is, subconsciously, or you can say conditionally, it is always saying that, it's me who am doing it as a person. That
yeah,
person notion is basically so imbibed in the system. So in this case, what is the right way? I last time also asked you, said you have to be sometime away and then have to be there on the system to do some practice and get out of it. So this
yeah,
is the main concern for me. Still, it is, that concern of doership is there, and when I'm into the system or doing the activity, it is always, being that I'm not at peace while doing the activity, and even though I know that there is something, nothing to be achieved, no seeker is there. That has all listened, that things has been given it to us a number of times. Even Rupert says, you says, a lot of people, give that information. But that while activity time and doing that activity is basically not giving me that peace. or that notion of being an observer or being an, um, that being aware of aware, that part of it is not there.
Right.
So what is the challenge? I'm not able to, get out this.
So, Mukesh, we will see this from an absolute perspective right now.
Mm.
Let's say God is having five different experiences right now, six different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
From Kalika, it is having an experience in Italy, from a 80-year-old body. And from me, probably some other experience, from you, some other experience. And no experience is bad or different, Nalini is having a doctor experience in UK. I mean, different. We see six experiences unfolding right now. So what if in some body mind it is trying to have this flip flop experience, that it is
Okay.
forgetting, it is forgetting. There's nothing personal. God himself or herself is forgetting. She's forgetting that she's Mukesh and she's Ashwin. So it's as they say, it's God's will, not my will. Can we give all this burden of spirituality, that okay, I can get there through practice? You might hear diplomatic things from me, like last time I would have said that you can do practice, but today I'm saying this. I don't know, but I'm just saying, can we, what works, who knows, right? What works. So sometimes can we think that okay, this is what is happening, and that's why probably in Bible they said, not my will but thy will be done. So okay, it's fine. 3 4 days I've forgotten, you know not I
That is
have
also
yeah.
that is also your will,
Yeah, I,
right?
I mean, it's God's will. God wants to forget and wants to get all the, we feel that stress, anger, and all of these are bad, but these are different. If we look from the absolute perspective, it is like different emotions, right? So right now I'm like talking normally, and let's say if I raise my voice, then everyone will say, oh, you are so unenlightened, because you're. But what if the God wants to experience that, you know so I'm just saying that, let's say you're forgetting and we are forgetting, we take it lightly. We say, okay, fair enough. I mean, that's because nothing is in my hand. And genuinely at that point of time, whatever we are calling energy, consciousness, God, has time being decided to be that character, and forget itself, right? So all the burden goes away, and then you say, genuinely, whatever you want through me, do it. I'm here just like this,
As it is.
as it is, nothing to change, nothing to, I forget, I don't, I can't meditate, I can't remember, like I don't remember God sometimes. It's fine, anything is fine, something like that. It works sometimes, I'm not saying, and sometimes it wants to do practice, it wants to do retreat, it wants to go to Arunachala and all of that. It's also okay. Yeah. So the whole thing is, Mukesh, is, this is Advaita. The pure Advaita is this. God and mind are not two different things. But why people say mind is an illusion? Because the same thing you said, no, it's so powerful, it grips you. But when we understand that mind, actually, when we become, when we see who we truly are, then it's like mind is not even an ant. It is a bacteria which you have to see through microscope when you become who you truly are. It's like dinosaur versus you know a small. But when we forget that we are dinosaur, then mind becomes like very big.
Very big,
Some
right?
yeah, something like that. The moment we forget, when we remember, mind is absolutely nothing. Anything can happen. People. I'm just saying that uh, anything can happen, and we will be okay with that. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ashwin. Yeah, got it.
Thanks, Mukesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Anything else? So, It's such a funny thing. No, we discuss all these things. Yeah, Kalika, you have something to say, I guess.
I just wanted to thank you because it's so freeing. All what you have shared is incredibly freeing. Yeah. Huh.
Thank you, Kalika. Yeah, it's just the free flow, to be honest. Everything is just free flow, whatever is coming and all. But it's actually freeing, when we come to know that this is who we are, then what are we trying to fool ourselves?
Yes.
We have to end our seeking. Otherwise, what? I mean, this is what we will be doing whole life. Then we will say next life, next life. This is again a concept that next life, next life, next life. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Anything else anyone has, it's okay. Otherwise,
Hi, hi, Ashwin.
yes, Nalini, hi.
I actually want, I mean, I also wanted to say thank you. And I think it's interesting when you said that it's all free flow because um, I think I've been thinking as well for the past few days. We're so conditioned with concepts and thinking that you have to achieve enlightenment, and things like that. And I think that itself becomes a hurdle, I think. So I think this, in one way, as Kalika mentioned as well, it's quite freeing to know that it's, but I think staying in that state of constantly, that you don't have to be seeking and it's all free flowing, to be in that constant state is, I think, is the hurdle.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Nalini. What you said is so beautiful that you're already free and to be in that state. Now, can we like do one more thing that we say that nothing is in my hand? To be in that state or to be the mind, nothing
Mm.
is in my hand. God is deciding everything. I'm
Mm.
just using God, the word
Yeah, yeah.
God. We can use any word. G- God is deciding this play, and I am deciding this play. But when I forget it, I become I. When
Mhm.
I forget it, then I become Ashwin. Then there is this whole hurdle which is seen. When I am God, there is no hurdle. There's nothing to be enlightened, right?
Mhm.
So whenever God becomes Nalini, then Nalini has this hurdle of for remembering or forgetting.
Yeah.
That's the that's the thing. And can we take it in a playful way, because God is by choice becoming Nalini? Otherwise, you know why will a lady called Nalini be in existence?
Yeah, I think for me the hurdle now is more with the emotional body. So
Ha.
I think that's very sometimes it's too powerful and it's very difficult to be in the silence and then feel the allow the emotional body to think so.
Yeah. No, it is such a important thing. I don't want to do any spiritual bypass here. That's why I
Yeah.
want to suggest something. Now, what
Mm.
I said was from absolute. This is little bit more bodily thing. So I don't know how many of you have actually read or gone through practices of Eckhart Tolle. He's a Have you, Nalini?
I have, yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
recently I
okay,
have.
great. So I was fortunate to spend some time with him. His some of his long term programs,
Mm.
and one of the most important contribution he has made is he's gone to the humanized body level, which he calls as pain body. So the pain body is the accumulated emotional mental field, which stays inside us. We can't ignore it. We can say that we are absolute, but that suddenly comes and takes over. And it is dormant most of the time. It becomes active some of the time. When it becomes active, it is as if, something. completely takes over. And of course, God is forgotten, and something like that. So to see this and to be with this, now this pain body is nothing. Now let me just tell, this is a trapped energy. It is trapped energy from consciousness or God, which is disconnected, and it has got trapped. It has got confused with a mental emotional field within our body. All of us has it. It's not like uh, someone will have a more stronger pain body, let's say criminals, but it doesn't matter. It's again a mind thing which I'm trying to bring, trying to say someone criminal and someone not. But I'm just trying to say, let's say, somebody will have a very strong pain body, somebody will have a very light pain body, it only becomes active. Now this needs to be transmutated. There is a word called in Bible called transmutation, which is, it just becomes light, pure light, whatever we have. So the more we are in the presence, in the light of presence, and we look and see this pain body without bypassing anything, we are very honest, we just look at this. There is this process of transmutation.
With a lot of patience, Ashwin.
Absolutely. No, there has to be patience, Nalini, lot of love also. Lot of love, care, because it is not a personal thing. It's not a personal thing. So I'll give you an example. For example, so we all are from that generation. I don't know what happened, Satu, in your country and Kalika yours, but in India, students were beaten by teachers. Like literally, they were hit. I'm talking about some 40 years back, 30, 40 years back. So I remember when I was just 10-year-old, a 40 or 50-year-old mature adult who could not, handle their emotions had beaten me, my teacher, for some small mischief. So all of that would be stored somewhere in my emotional body, that violence, right? And similarly, something else, somebody might have met with an accident, bad parenting, whatever, there are multiple things. So what happens is, this accumulated things, a body has a memory, so it just stores it. The nervous system starts behaving in a certain way. Now we have come from absolute to human, okay? See, we were there as a god. Now we are in a mind. So these are the grip through which it is trying to hold us. Can we slowly see who we truly are? That's the only method. Okay? But good, I'm glad, Nalini, you brought this point, because we had gone to absolute.
No, I was just thinking maybe I have taken it in a different angle. So
No, it's beautiful, because there's a lot of bypassing which can also happen. We can, yeah.
No, I think sometimes that's what happens with the non-dual understanding and Advaita.
Yes.
I mean, you just think, and I think sometimes the bypassing makes this even more difficult.
Yes, absolutely. So I think one of the best things what we can do is, and again I want to quote one book. It's here. Yeah, it's here. Yeah. End of the world.
No, Adishanti.
Adishanti.
Okay.
Adishanti, end of your world. One of the best things I learned from this book many years back when I read this was to be absolutely honest of your experience. Not trying to bypass, but at the same time not believing in the story of the mind. Both ways, right? So one is, we believe in the story of the mind and then we are stuck there. Or we can just say, I am God, and still nothing is happening. And, so it's like somewhere in between, remembering who you truly are, but also letting that light seep into the darker areas, which are illusion, which are the shackles. So yeah,
Thanks, Ashwin.
welcome. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. It's such a fun to actually meet like this and have conversation. It's like so much fun. I just love it. Yeah.